For this standing wrap tutorial, you will need a no-bow fleece wrap and an outer wrap. It can either be a knit or neoprene textured material. Thanks for watching.
So now we are going to put a standing wrap, our hospital wrap, over our inner light bandage. And so this is to keep this bandage in place and to provide a little more protection to the leg. And a lot of people will potentially put standing wraps on after their horses worked really hard with liniment, things like that. You can talk to your vet or trainer about doing those things, but we want our clients to know how to put a standing wrap on for the purpose of keeping wounds covered. So we really like these fleecy no-bow wraps. They conform to the leg pretty well and a little more easily, in my opinion, than quilted wraps, which are also really useful but can be a little harder to get to flatten against the contours of your horse's leg. So we're going to take one of these wraps and we're going to roll it up. Doesn't have to be perfect, but pretty organized. And I also want to show you the two different kinds of outer wraps that you can get. So you can either get these knit ones that are a little rougher, and they're actually, I like them because they can hold your standing wrap sometimes a little bit better, especially if you have a standing wrap that has a little bit of a shinier exterior fabric to it, or these tighter woven, more nylon looking material is also fine. So either one of these is going to go on the outside. So first thing I'm going to do is take my white fleece wrap, and I usually start at the front of the leg, and we go from the front to the back on the outside. And this doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but we want to keep any big folds out of this. So this material is really nice because it does really conform to the leg quite nicely. Then what I'm going to do is take either one of those outer wraps, and I like to just tuck the tail under my white wrap. And when this takes some practice, so it is best to practice this before your horse has a wound. And traditionally we go from the front to the back of the leg on the outside, and we're going to wrap around. That helps us not pull too hard on the tendons at the back of the leg. But what we really want to make sure we do is keep a consistent, moderate tension on our bandage for the entire length of the bandage. We don't want to pull real hard in one place and let it get loose in another, because that's where we're apt to put undue strain on one part of a tendon and cause a bandage bow. So I am just consistently keeping my tension, and you'll get used to the length of your bandage and how big your horse is, but we want our spacing between our layers of bandage to be about the same. All right, so now I've gotten down here. I've made sure that I have a little bit of my white bandage still coming out the bottom, because I don't want this bandage to be right on the skin. And then I've got pretty consistent spacing for my outer bandage here, and we're gonna do the same thing going back up. And again, you're gonna have to practice this a little bit to get used to the length of your wraps and the size of your horse and exactly how many times around their leg it takes to go down and back up. When we get to the top, I'm going to unroll our Velcro, and there's our wrap. And we want to feel this, make sure we have kind of consistent pressure throughout the whole wrap. Again, at the top, I made sure that I have about 1 inch of my white wrap exposed above the top of my outer wrap. And I just want to make sure it's snug, but I can stick a finger in here and it's nice and snug in there, and this isn't going anywhere.